What's up, guys? It's Zachy J, and today we're going to talk about a little bit of a serious topic: betrayal. Okay? Why are we going to talk about this? Because this is everything to do with coming out of our past, letting the past go, letting our burdens go, is if we understand betrayal and how it relates to us and how it relates to how we treat ourselves, most importantly. So, if you look at the deepest layers of literary fiction and their metaphorical hell, we can lean on to Dante's Inferno, and you can see that at the deepest layers of this hell is betrayal. Why might that be, right? Well, when we think about it, it causes a tremendous amount of pain to be betrayed. But because you can only be betrayed by the people that you trust the most, by the people that you're closest to, by the people that you care about and that are supposedly caring about you. So, if all of a sudden along the way something happens, something shifts, and that you find yourself on the receiving end of a blow from a friend or a lover, you feel twice as much because you would never expect that. So, betrayal, it's painful, correct? And it's hard to overcome, it's hard to grow, to heal from. But what's even worse is when all this tragedy happens, when all this tragedy strikes, and even if everyone around you is going left and you have to go right, and everything around you is going wrong, and you're still trying to put it in the right place, if all that is happening, the worst thing that can happen is still betrayal. And I don't mean what other people can do and how other people might betray you. No, it's when you betray yourself. That's when it gets the hardest. That's when the hell deepens and opens up into a big giant maw and swallows you whole. And how do we betray ourselves, right? Well, even in the worst circumstances, some of us give up on ourselves, right? It's a dark moment and it's a dark passage, and not everyone makes it. So let's not like candy coat this and pretend like, oh, don't worry, you'll go through this moment of trial and tribulation, and then you'll get to your breaking point, and then you'll break, and then on the end of the breaking, you'll come out a stronger person. We might know better, we might have seen better, we might have noticed better, right? It doesn't always work like that. Some people, they go through hardship, they go through hard times, and they end up giving up on themselves somewhere along the way, and then still they never come back from that. So we have to take this seriously, because this can happen to us at almost any point in time. Like, the rug can be pulled, right? You can have a black swan event that has happened in 2021, right? 2020. Whole economy collapses overnight. Housing crisis in 2008. COVID in 2020, right? Another thing could happen. Meteorite hits. It doesn't matter, right? You lost your job. Your girlfriend cheats on you. It doesn't matter. How are we going to be responsive to that? And how can we respond to this? Well, the last thing you need is to give up on yourself, because you are your Calvary. You are the Calvary. You're everything that you need. And everything that you could ever desire comes through you. Your dreams are manifest through you. So, if you stop working in your favor, nothing else is going to save you. Guarantee that right there, especially if you're a guy. And I'm sorry, men. You're lucky if you have people in your corner. You're lucky if you have family that shows up for you. You're lucky if you have friends that will help you move a couch, okay? Because that's more than a lot of people can ask for. A lot of people, when things get rough, it just is what it is. And they don't know what to do about it. And there's just a hope that it gets better. So we have to build out frameworks, and we have to understand that this is the darkest potential, right? This is the outlier event. We need to prepare ourselves for it. So just in case we need to break the glass for emergency, there's actually something to grab on the other side, right? Whether it's a fire extinguisher, whether it's a life raft, it doesn't matter. We have to have something in our toolkit to help us navigate. And it's a practice too. It's a practice. It's not something that is going to happen naturally. Some people have to go through these hard times to even figure out they need to practice these things. But if you are going through hard times now, just whatever you do, stay in your corner. You have to continuously have this belief structure that not only will you make it, you will be stronger as a result of this. So this is the only framework that truly matters when you're dealing with these very complicated problems. No matter how complicated they are, you could be facing a corrupt legal system, right? And the legal system, the matrix is coming out, like Agent Smith is coming out of the woodwork and all these different permutations to shut you down. Oh, ran into a spider web. And even if that was the case, you have to have such a strong belief structure in yourself that that this is the framework that is the useful one. Everything's happening to you for a reason, okay? It's happening for you to a reason to serve you. And I don't care if it doesn't feel like it's not serving you. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. It could be purely because of your own consequences that you brought on yourself, which is you not serving yourself. It does not matter. Still, you are to have this framework where it is serving you, because that's the only way that you will learn to see any value in the situation. And we all have hindsight. So hindsight, look, you can always use hindsight and you can figure things out. That's not the point. The point is this framework allows you to see during tragedy. And you have to be able to see during tragedy what the silver lining is, because you might need that tiniest shred of hope, that tiniest little bit of light. You might need that, and that might right there might be the saving grace that gets you from one side of the river to the other, right? One side of the river could be completely on fire, and the river could be infested with crocodiles, and still on the other side you're going to make it because you found that sliver of not only hope but of fact. You find the fact, you find the truth that yes, okay, say you brought something on yourself with your own consequences. You were doing something stupid, right? And you were driving drunk, okay? Got the DUI, life is gonna be in upheaval, things are gonna be way harder, What are you gonna do about it? You can either have a perspective during and afterwards that woe is me, or even better, you have the perspective that yes, this was my wake-up call. I needed to go through this so I can see what I'm actually doing to myself and how I'm also putting other people in danger, and it could have been worse. It could have been way worse. I could have actually killed somebody and spent the rest of my life in jail instead of just having a little bit of a harder time outside of jail, So you have to have this framework ready to go. It has to be ready to go, and you have to practice it. And practice it on the small stuff too, because this is the stuff that will save your life. In the case of emergency, these frameworks will save your life because you won't give up on yourself. And when you don't give up on yourself, now anything is possible. Now anything is truly possible, especially with your collection of experiences and your unique mind and your genetics that are going to express themselves. With all of that, as long as you don't give up on yourself, you're going to be empowered by yourself. And then what you do with yourself, we all cannot wait to see that. So, when you're going through these hard times, and I know all of us have gone through some hard times, and look, there's probably going to be some hard times ahead. We got to learn a little bit about how to navigate these circumstances so we can come out of it on top. And the best part about this stuff is the more you practice it, the shorter there's like a half-life for misery and pain. And it can be greater, right? But it's actually a skill. And you'll be able to get over these things faster and faster and faster. And you'll be able to get back to living. And I want people to get back to living because and we've all gone through something, right? And I know that in my past, when I've gone through some pretty heavy stuff, I let it sit on my soul for like years. Boy, was that a mistake. So don't do that. Don't do that. These techniques will literally cut the time down in a matter of like days. If like, okay, maybe the first few times, a couple of weeks, right? But you get a master of these techniques and you start seeing that, okay, I made a mistake here, or the world and circumstance is what it is. I see the thing that's worth grasping, the gold and the ore. I mine that gold. Now I'm rich. Now I'm rich with the experiences and wisdom. I have something to use, and as a result of this pain is now being transmuted into something higher. My higher self is now showing up as a representative and taking the case for me, right? So please put these things into action. And if you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. I would deeply appreciate it if you did that. And if anyone that you know needs a little bit of a pick-me-up, send them this video. They might need to hear this stuff. It's important. If you already have these tools, don't expect everyone around you to have these tools. That is not how it works. People don't know what they don't know until they figure out, until they bump into something where they needed to know it, right? Yeah, because we're all sharing consciousness together. So it's up to us to make it better, okay? For each and every one of us. So I can't wait to talk to you guys again soon, and have a great rest of the day.